It's 11. It's 3 p.m. now. So let's start.
Let's see here.
Is this already connected to your YouTube link?
Yes, it is.
Oh, alright. Let's start. Hello everyone. Welcome to MangaFY webinar. I'm Athena from MangaFY team, and also I'm here with Mikia to serve as your host for today.
Hello, thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
For today, we have a guest. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Hello, my name is Mari. You can call me Mari, but my Spain name is Mimi, and I am the writer, the producer, and also the artist and everything else for the Bride of the Fox comic that I publish on Webtoons, Tapas, and Webcomics app. Hello.
Hello, I'm Abigail. I'm just an enthusiast. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Are you a creator? Right?
Soon.
Oh, oh
Soon.
yes.
Soon.
I like that. Soon. It's a threat to myself. Soon. I'll be a creator.
Wait.
Hi, everybody. My name's Mikia. I am an artist and a writer. So, and one of the main people of the MangaFY team. So, everybody, welcome, and hopefully, we get more in here really soon. So,
When did you start, Marie, creating your webtoon?
So when did I start? I started last year, March in 2020, the year we don't speak about. And I was almost sure we are gonna have a lockdown here in Japan because it started very early. We had COVID cases in January. Everybody was canceled, everything. And I was on vacation, but I had my classes. I teach in elementary school, and my classes were canceled, and the kids would not go to school. So I had a lot more time, and I decided, well, maybe it's time to do something else with my life before the word ends. So I checked my box and looked for my old drawings, my old stories, and I found, well, I should at least give it a try. And I started March 8th. I remember because normally it's Women's Day in Brazil, and we always get flowers and stuff, and I hate that. I hate that so much. So it signified Women's Day for me, and I published on March 8th. Yes.
You just started or you write your story first?
One more. I didn't listen. What can you say again? Sorry.
did you just start with each individual chapter, or did you write your story out first, or how did you?
Oh, that's a great question. So I had the argument, the pitch of the story that I wanted, like what the beginning, the middle, and the end I had in my mind. And then I kind of there's this three act. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but you have like the beginning of the story, and then you have the climax, and then the end. So I had that in my mind, and I roughly wrote what I wanted to happen. But as it goes, I try to see what the readers are commenting and see if it's a good thing to do or if it's a bad thing to do with the story. And as the characters also grow on inside me, they also make their own decisions. So I didn't write everything. It's not everything is not done. It's completely flexible. So yes.
So, how far ahead are you working on each chapter?
Oh, my buffer is quite. It's I have one chapter buffered. How do you say that? I have like one chapter that is already drawn,
Right.
and I just go uploading, and I draw the next chapter while I'm posting the chapter before, and I also have the other chapter already like in the storyboard. So I have like three chapters at once.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very perfectionist. Oh God, I shouldn't be like that, but that's how I work now. Yes.
I think we're all a little bit like that when it comes to our work.
Right, our little
Yes.
babies.
You know, it's like, is it ready to go out? No, you want to push it out of the nest, but then you're like holding it back a little bit.
Yeah, you have to see how people will react, right?
Yeah.
What if they don't like anything you wrote? And oh my God, and I draw it already. Panic. So, yeah.
Overthinking.
So keep it there, hidden in the background, and go. I have the buffer for any emergencies. So yeah.
Is your webtoon weekly update? Weekly
Yes, it's
updates?
weekly update. Oh God.
Oh,
What a bad decision. No, it's not. It depends. When I don't believe that you have to weekly update, but if you want to make some cash and you depend on the views for the cash at the viewing, it's recommendable that you always have something more people reading and more people reading, because then you have more ad views, and that's why I try to push myself to at least update once a week, so I keep the cash. Not the cash, not the only the cash, but the readers also they prefer, even if it's a small update, as long as you give them something, they're always happy, and I think that's the best for both of us. Yes.
So, where did your idea come from for your series?
So my idea came from two different things in my life. Once is that I love yokai stories, and I love um, reading and watching anime. They're yokai featured, and every type of mythology. In fact, I was very like that kid that liked Greek mythology in school, that sits on the back and knows all the
Yeah.
Greek gods. Weird kid. And so I like mythology a lot, and I since I lived in Japan, I'm more aware of everything and know more people that know about that because I study history here. So I wanted to create a story about yokai. That was the main thing for me. But previously I had this comic where I tried to make, but I was like not really giving my best to finish it, and I dropped. It was about a black princess, and I didn't want to leave this concept of a black princess, a black royalty, away from me. I wanted to go with it a little more, so I mixed both the ideas together. So that's how
Okay.
I got into it. Yes.
We just had Mikhail's ask a question. Do you prefer to follow trends and go with what's popular when it comes to your writing, your series, or do you prefer to kind of blaze your own path? Is their question.
Wow, that's a great question. Oh my God. I do read a lot, and it's impossible to not be influenced by what comes now, right? There's a lot of reincarnation stories, there's a lot of royalty that you get revenge and remarry, and I think that's somehow influences us to try to do something similar, which is completely, it's great, it's not bad to follow a trend. It's not a bad thing because you also like the trend, right? If you're reading, you also like it, so it's not a bad thing. But I think you should always have this speech of originality that you should keep for
Yeah.
yourself, right? So I try to read and see what people like. People to nowadays are not really into that uh villain, and the villain gets his redemption arc and everybody loves him back. People are not into that anymore.
Like,
And
it's like
I try.
that's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's like, come on, just let the bad guy be the bad guy for a change.
Yeah, just he's just evil.
Yeah.
It's okay. He's bad enough. He will have his redemption arc away from my story. You'll have it somewhere. So I try to make to be in line with that
Yeah.
things. Yes.
All right. Let's see here. Some of the other questions that some people have had. Well, one of my questions is, so are you doing both the writing and the art yourself, or do you have an artist that you're also that you've hired out?
Or when I'm rich, making comics, making comics, I'll probably hire an entire team. But now it's just me.
It's just you.
It's just me and my pen. I have 2 days off in the week, and then I have to make everything on those 2 days. And whatever comes.
Yeah.
So it's just me. Yes.
But your webtoon is really amazing though. You have 16 subscribers. Yes.
You're so sweet. Oh my god.
Oh,
You're
I
so
just
sweet.
see your update to yesterday. You updated your webtoon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for reading first. Thank you for reading, and it's every person that reads and giving their time is like have a part in my heart, because it's something I made for fun, and if people like, it's just wonderful. And I never understood how I got 16,000. I don't know. Where did these people come from? I have no idea. It's just traction from the website. I don't promote too much because I'm so shy, guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like that I'm shy, but I was panicking before entering. I was like on the chat, oh my god, what do I do? Do I speak something? Do I say anything? And I was like, so I'm really shy. I don't promote a lot. Don't know how it happens. Luck, maybe. I don't know.
All right. Some other questions. Let's see here. Somebody said, "Not gonna lie, I'm tired of all the fluffy romance. My writer and I are working on a grim dark genre. And somebody else said that they prefer not to follow a trend. I'm just going to do it my way as a starter." So those were a couple of comments that a couple of other people have said with that. So when it so your story's based around mythology a bit. Is that what research did you do when you started creating your story? How much are you borrowing from mythology? And that kind of.
That's great to ask. You always have since it's mythology and it's not being written by anyone, it's in the air for some, and it's compiled in old books, but it's still something that people can work their own way with it, right? So I try to get as much as I can from the names and the places it happens, and also what kind of magical powers each god or each deity has. This I try to keep, and the rest I can work on my own world because it's my world building. I do the rules. It's my work. I do it, and then I can just mix with some of the things I like about Japan nowadays, things that happen here, other things that happens in Japanese history, then I can also mix. So I try to not be really by the book, but at least give some respect some part of it and include it in the story as well. Yeah.
Sorry everyone. I think
Was it a dog? I hope it was a dog.
what is that? Do you guys mind joining once again? Because our Zoom meeting has limit. That's
Okay.
sad.
Let me do.
All right.
Hold on 1 second before you close it. Let me take a picture of these questions
Alright.
so that we don't lose them. That way I can pull them up as soon as everybody rejoins. So, yes, everybody rejoin.
Wait.
You'll have to close it down on your end.
Okay.
Okay. I'll end it. Wait.
All right, I'm back.
Oh my god, I did it. I did it. Panic. Okay. Too old for technology. Oh god.
Sorry
Yeah,
about
sorry.
that. Next live chat, we will actually have the professional version of Zoom, so we don't have to
Yes.
do this anymore. So
No problem, no problem.
okay.
So there was questions in
Yeah.
the comment box, right?
Yeah, I've got them. Let's see. First question. Do you storyboard when you write and draw your chapters, or do you just start from a script? or how do you actually start?
Oh, so I have like wait a sec. I have like this. My storyboards are all in my small sketchbook, small
Yeah.
sketchbook, and I try to
Recording in
sketch
progress.
oh, sorry. I try to sketch the main scenes first because those scenes need to be in the chapter regardless of what type of change they want to do. So I have the main scenes drawn, and after when I finished one chapter and I see all the readers' reaction and I'm right to start the next one, then I make the full storyboard of the speech bubbles, where they go, what kind of reaction the characters will have. Then I'll do it. But I also have the notes for each chapter written, but they're rough drafts of the chapter. Not everything is perfectly there. So I have both. I have the drafts written somewhere, not the script itself, but a draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the storyboard as well. So yes, that's how I do.
Okay. And then somebody else just said, "Hi, I'm actually at work, but I'm listening while I'm at work." So,
Thank you. Have a fun work today.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Another question. These are some of the questions that we've got that we're kind of asking everybody. What are the things we need to consider when starting a graphic novel or webtoon or webcomic series?
Wow.
In your opinion,
that's profound.
Yeah.
I believe that there are two things mainly that I consider when I started mine. That was, first, I wanted to have fun because the world's needing of some light content that you just immerse yourself. And I wanted to have fun in the process. I didn't want it to take too much of my mental health, because when you upload online, you're at risk to receive weird comments and mean stuff. So you have to be ready for that, right? So do it for fun, and then you'll be like armored against these kind of things. And second was, do I have the time and commitment to do this? Because if I don't, and I'm just doing for myself, and it's not about the graphic novel itself, it's just a pastime. And you should be clear to yourself, is this a commitment that I want to do it till the end? Am I ready to post every week? Am I ready to cancel plans because I need to finish this? Am I ready to look at myself and say, oh, I'm tired, I have no time, but I have patrons who pay, I have a schedule that I planned, I have to finish this today, and there's nothing I can do? Do you have this commitment? So first, do it for fun, because without fun, before you get any money, before you get any readers, it's yourself and the blank paper there. And second, after you start, do you have the commitment to go further and further in the years pass and you're still working? So that's important for me as well. I consider that's the two things that are most important. Yes.
Just and one of the things that I would say to that is, just do you find what you want to create, and if it's something that you're interested in, I guarantee you there's at least one other person out there that will also be interested in it. So
sure. Yes.
One of Angelica asks from on these are some questions we got on Facebook. Where to start? Should I do research, or is it okay to just start writing?
Wow, no. Do research. Do research, please. the research is important because you when you see the blank pages, you see the world is entire there blank. You can create everything. The power is in your hands. You feel that power overflow and you just want to type it. But then people read it and they find mistakes. You didn't do your research. They know when you didn't do your research. And then that crushes your heart because you had so much fun doing that. Why? And I think that it's important to when you leave the comic for others to read, it's important that you keep consistency, not only in the pace you write or draw, but also in the story. The story needs to be consistent because no consistency makes people go away. They know when things are getting weird. They're like, yeah, I don't like that. I'm dropping this.
Yeah.
So do research first. Sure, what you want to do, what you like. That's good. That's good.
And
Somebody just made a comment about research. I have a small bit to add to that thought. Be sure not to get caught up too deep in research either, because it can keep you from starting.
Wow, that's true. That's also true.
That is very true.
Yes.
For myself, I find that a balance of research and writing, because even while I'm writing myself, I'm surrounded by books. So I'll go pick up books on different subjects, whatever I'm writing, and I'll be researching while I write. So
that's a great way.
So find a balance to your research. Yeah, you can start out with a bunch of research at the beginning, but find the balance as you're doing it.
And no info dump. I know it's tempting to write that prologue with all the info from your world, but people are not gonna read.
Oh no.
They're not gonna pay that much attention. It's people there. There are people who will, obviously, but most people just want, I want to read something new. Oh my god, words. Close.
Yeah. It's tiring.
Since you're your own artist, how do you prevent, we'll call it writer/artist fatigue. How do you prevent writer/artist fatigue for yourself?
Wow, fatigue. There are times that I'm really, really tired. Like that I have nothing that will convince me to sit here on my table and draw. There are times like that for sure. And I try to tell before my readers there will be no updates next week. I'm tired. And I can say that 99% of the times they were like, okay, take a rest. It's all right. Because the readers know that if you're tired, the story is not gonna go good too. So take a 1 week off or 2 weeks off. I've taken 3 weeks off once because I was really tired. And when I came back, everybody was like, oh my god, I missed you so much. I'm so happy you're back. And people are okay. It's with you getting tired. People know people get tired. So you also should be kind to yourself mostly. And be sure that people who love your story and love you will respect that time as well. Yes.
When you do take a break for yourself, when you do go away, and how do you let your readers know? Do you just put it into the comments, or do you create like a single panel saying that you're taking some time? Or
that's important. So there are two ways that I do that. One is I leave a comment in the last update I had saying, oh, there will be no updates. And if it's the end of the chapter and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to think about this story any longer, I need a break, I leave this panel saying, I will be back this day. Until there, enjoy my Instagram, something like that. Okay. So that's how I do.
And how do you what do you do to get away from everything to actually relax? How do you kind of manage?
Unfortunately, I read. I have no salvation here. I just like, what am I gonna do my free time? Read comics, but you're
Yes.
working with that.
It's fun
mean,
to read others' work.
I do the same thing. I mean, if you look at my bookshelf over here, you can see that these are all manga. I've got four
TL.
shelves of manga, and I'm always at the bookstore picking up more. It's like I can't get
We're
enough of
so guilty. Oh no.
It's like, okay, this is my pleasure reading over here.
All right.
And then this shelf over here is actually my research and stuff like that. So I've got all my research and all of my, most of my books for, my characters and all that over on this shelf. So, I kind of separate the two out. So they're always right where I need them to be. But
It's a very nice bookshelf, by the way. It's really
thank you.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Wow.
I actually built that myself so that I could organize everything.
I want to be like that when I grow up. Oh my god.
Plus,
My
I
books are
needed a
nice.
place for all my Legos over here.
Very good. Very good.
How do you? And this goes on onto that same kind of question. How do you balance creating web comics to your regular life?
Wow. Do I?
Do you?
Do I?
Are you capable of this?
I have to make human sacrifice. No. I have I'm blessed because I can work part-time jobs while I study here in Japan. So I am a PhD candidate at university. So I have classes and then I do part-time jobs. So my part-time jobs are only 3 times a week because of visa stuff. You cannot work every time, so as much as you want because of the student visa.
Yeah.
So I work 3 times a week. So I have 2 days off, as I told before. And I work in the comic in those 2 days off that I have.
Okay.
So it's also considered work in my mind now. Before it wasn't, but since now it's considered work, I try to maintain in the same hour period that I also work in my part-time jobs. So I try to it doesn't mix with my studies and such. That's how a personal life in existence that doesn't exist. No, I haven't seen the daylight in 3 months. Just kidding. But yeah, you have to make decisions sometimes.
Somebody asked, how do you manage time to do your storyboards, making the webcomic plus marketing social media engagements?
Oh, suffering, pain. So I manage. I try to, mostly because I'm held accountable because of Patreon, right? Patreon, I have this schedule that's written there that I will publish this month. And this holds me accountable. I have to do that. I told I would do that. When people don't get what they are paying for, they leave. So and it's the right thing. They should. So I'm held accountable by that. So the schedule for Patreon is like sacred. I do not change anything. So if my patrons, I told them that I will publish this amount of pages this month. I do everything I can to deliver that. So if I have to work more this day or this other day, okay. So this is for the story, making the webcomic. The webcomic is held accountable because of them. For the storyboard, before, as I told before, I have like 1 month buffer for the storyboard. So I have it flexible to look how the comments section goes. People comment a lot when they are angry at you.
Oh yeah.
They're angry. They're like, why, author, you're doing this? So you have to be on. I'm gonna get killed in my sleep. So keep 1 month storyboard before, so it's flexible enough for you to change when you need to change. And marketing social media, that's the scary one
Yeah.
for me, because I'm an introvert. How do I speak to people? Words don't come out my mind. So before I had the Twitch, I used to make tweet before. I still do once a month Twitch live streams that we helped market my comic. I do the comic live, or I post on Instagram. That's easy too. So easy things that you not consume the time you should be drawing is when you should be marketing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's how.
And then they had a follow-on question to that. Do you have a daily schedule?
Oh my God. Do I try to when I have my 2 days that I draw, I do have the daily schedule that I have in these days, that I have to do my the housework, and then I sit, I draw one page, at least one page before lunch, because then I have like the feeling that I did something, I accomplished something. And then until night, until my husband comes back from work, then I have finished. And that's it. I try to finish 3 to 4 pages a day, because then I will be able to post and keep my buffering to 1 month. So yes, that's how I do a daily schedule for those days.
Then somebody else asks, what are some of your best time-saving tips for your series? Do you have brush presets, frequently use panel sizes, shapes, assets, brushes, props, etc.?
Yes, time is saving, guys. That's the clue. People don't talk much about time saving, but as much as you can save time, do it. Don't be afraid to use 3D backgrounds, preset brushes. Don't be afraid. For myself, what I do is that I have, in my mind, I have three, how do I say that? My comics, it's manga styled comics. So it's not just panels and panels and panels like the webtoon style. So I have inside a page, I know that I'll have 3 lines of comics that I can use. So I try to make this one has a background, one has a background, and the others, the readers can imagine that they are the same background. So I don't have to take care of backgrounds each panel, right? So I do something like that. So backgrounds, you need to save time. I use a lot of 3D. It's not a bad thing. Everybody does that. I don't feel that it's a bad. Before I was like, oh my God, I'm taking my professional comic writer license that it doesn't exist. I made up myself away because I'm using 3D. It's alright. Everybody does it. Also, I use Clip Studio, so they have this store. They have 3D there that you can buy and use. They are not copyrighted. As soon as you buy it, you can use, which is important. Always support other creators buying their stuff. And that's how I do it. I save. I have the same brush that I used. It's all preset. My workspace preset to draw the comic. So I always know everything. Where is everything? Because if I don't do that, I will be, oh my God, where is that brush that I used once in my lifetime? No, not anymore.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what software you use. So you use Clip Studio. What do you use to write? Just notebook or what? Or do you
So I have, there's this website which is free to use that's called Milanote. And they have a writer section there where you can organize your story. So it's really good because it's free. I talk too much about money. My Latin American people know it. So I use Milano to organize the story. So they have like a writer's boards, so you can organize it online everywhere the story. And for Clip Studio, I think Clip Studio is like Clip Studio doesn't even need advertising or marketing team. The all the writers and creators already marked Clip Studio for free because it's the best. That's it. Nothing else to say. It's the best.
And then somebody just said, guilty still using Photoshop. And I need to get Clip Studio EX one of these days. I will say
Yes.
this. You can use Photoshop. You can use Clip Studio. You can use Corel Draw. You can use Ibis or whatever else is out there. Just create.
Yes.
So beautiful.
I use
Just
Ibis
create.
Paint.
Now I'm somebody that has I use Clip Studio Pro myself. I also use Photoshop and I use Corel Draw because there are some things that some other programs are a little better at doing than others. So you can actually use multiple programs all at the same time. If I'm doing a lot of lettering, I will use Corel Draw if I'm needing to do like logos and stuff like that, or specialized like kind of vector lettering, because it's one of the best at doing that for some weird reason. And I can actually customize the shape of letters and typeface. Photoshop, I'm mainly using that now just for doing my photography because I'm also a photographer myself. But I do sometimes use it to draw in just because that's what I first started drawing in on myself. But I'm really loving Clip Studio Paint. Like I said, I use Pro myself. I don't know what you're using. Are you using EX or are you using
I use
Pro?
EX, yes.
EX. Because it gives you kind of the best of both worlds between Corel Draw and Photoshop. Especially one of the things that I do with Clip Studio is all of my line art is vector drawing. I use vector layers for doing all my line art. That way I can always resize it or change it around or move it around however I need. So that's my experience with it. I don't know what your experience is. Have you always used Clip Studio, or did you start with something else? Or
Yes, I always used Clip Studio when it was still Manga Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm that old. Let's not talk about that. That's a secret. So I always liked to create comics.
Mm-hmm.
So when I used to do, like, when I was in high school, we had a Photoshop class, something like that, to make teenagers calm themselves down.
Yeah.
So I learned Corel Draw, Photoshop, GIMP, that old.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh
God.
yeah.
Oh God, don't say. But then when I actually went to draw stuff for myself, I just downloaded. At that time, it was really difficult to buy because I didn't understand much about internet. But I was able to buy Manga Studio that time, and since then I just uploaded when it turned to Clip Studio. So that's how I went.
Yeah. So let's see here. Seeing any more questions from anybody right now? Question from myself. You said you're a PhD student. Do you mind asking what you're studying?
Wow, PhD.
And
Don't ask that to us.
Yeah.
Am I?
And how much does that tie into your manga series?
Oh God, am I studying? That I just sweating now. So I'm my main subject is history, and I study Japanese history. And before, I used to study the 800s, and I studied these particular how do you say that? I'm trying to translate the Japanese word. Josei Kaiho. Women liberation advocate in Meiji in the 800s, and how she wrote about voting rights for women, how she wrote about education. This something that I liked a lot. And then now that I'm a PhD, I switched to studying magazines for women in the beginning of the century. So how women would talk about their interests and right. And that's what I'm focusing now. It's really nice to read gossip stuff from the beginning of the century. Like, oh my God, that happened. I don't even know the person. It's dead, but interesting. Yes.
And how much does that tie into your series, your studies?
It does helps me to do research, right, for the comic, because it has a lot of mythology. So I don't have any trouble looking for Japanese books or anything, because I can read, and it helps for this kind of things. And also because when you look to make like something that is really similar to this specific period of time, and you can just go and type for maps and images of the time, it's much easier when you know where to look for, right? So that's how it helps in my comic.
That's good. Does anybody else have any more questions?
Here it is again. There's 10 minutes
10 minutes
left. Yeah.
Okay.
In my Zoom, I think we need to rejoin that.
Yeah. So in the last 10
coming.
minutes, do you have anything that you would like to talk about? Just, about anything that we haven't mentioned, any type of question that you, or for like a couple of minutes.
Couple of minutes. Oh my God.
Words of encouragement, whatever you want to say.
Okay, encouragement. That's better. I have a goal now.
All right.
I just want to say to people that who are trying that it looks scary to, draw and then leave it on the interwebs for people to criticize your life work. It is scary. It's not gonna lie. I had panicked many times. I still panic. But it's good to let that thing out of your head. This story keeps being there and keeps telling you, please let me out. And when you let it go, it's such a great feeling to see it there in front of you, not in here inside. So it's a really a good feeling for you to grow, not only as a creator, but as a person, to see how much you can create for yourself, how much you can transform the world around you and be meaningful to others. So it's a good thing. Even if it's scary, it's a good scare. Don't be shy. It's okay for us to be very protective of the things we do, but like parents, you need to let it, they live. So it's okay to be scared at first, but do it regardless. Yes.
Last year, I also started my webtoon Love Cuff, but I only published one chapter, and then after that, it became on a hiatus because I was too scared. I don't know why.
Not telling our mom.
But
it is scary.
I continued it now. it's ongoing now. It feels like the satisfaction of expressing my stories, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I felt really happy.
That's the thing you should aim for, right? For you to feel fulfilled. So yes.
Sometimes, uh, well, I will say this. This is something I used to be a cop back years ago, and one of the things that they told us when I was in the police academy is fear is not a word. Fear is an acronym, and it stands for false expectations appearing real. So if you expect failure, or if you're thinking that you're seeing something as a failure, that's what it's going to be. That is what your fear is. And you need to turn it into something else. Turn fear into something like failure expected, action required. Expect failure, but take action. Do something. Because if you don't do anything, nothing will get done. So, yeah, it's okay to have fear, but turn it into something that you can use. So,
I'm going to tattoo that here in my forehead. When I look in the mirror, like turning to something. That was really good.
yeah.
Yes.
Fernandez has a question.
Oh my
What's the
God.
next goal for your webtoon merch and physical books?
My next goal. So I'm currently on a campaign to make a 1 minute animation, and it's there. I'm making it with another creator, another animator. So we expect to make this 1 minute animation of the one of the climax of the story and launch it around April next year. And physical books, I don't think so right now, because I would have to make too much research about I'm concentrating things that are easy to do for me to do now, but probably in the future I'd love to have. And merch, I have a merch store already. You can look at my link tree. You can look there. I make Redbubble, which is guys, use Redbubble, okay? To make your own merch on Redbubble. It's so easy. It's very nice to have at least like one poster for yourself, so you admire, oh, I did this. Use Redbubble for your own gang. So it's a really great place for creators, small creators, precisely to launch small merch. So yes, I have merch.
Right. So, do you have any more questions? I guess that's going to be it for us. Thank you for joining us, and good luck. And we look forward to seeing further work from you. And hopefully, you can come back again sometime and give us an update on how everything's going. And
That would be nice. Thanks for inviting. The invitation was really fun. Do something different my Sunday. Talk to more people. Thank you. This a lot.
And thank you for answering our questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you.
You're welcome.